Live on air. We'll go through a few of these bad boys in just a moment. Let's get with the intro. Welcome to the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So clocks move forward this weekend, and we all lost an hour's sleep or whatever they want to dictate.
Yesterday. Sorry, you lost an
processes.
hour yesterday, y'all.
Yeah. And okay, so big bonus from that. The new puppy's now sleeping until they're supposed to sleep. So I don't know what happened. Like we went, I guess
it's that shift. We're gonna have more sun now. The sun, sunlight.
And it's funny because up at my place, it was like 16 last week at one point. Like the driveway was clear, the snowmobile ramp started to fade quite a bit, and you start getting into that spring and summer mode, right? I'm like thinking, okay, got the construction out back that I got to finish up from last year. So I'm starting to think about that. I'm starting to think about clearing the garage. And all of a sudden we had a wicked storm on the weekend. I could literally go snowmobiling again. It was like, well, it's funny because you get that mixed feeling, right? Like as humans, we tend to move in these cycles, right? And as the cycle was, okay, we're getting out of snowmobiling, moving into golf season, and then it's back to snowmobile, and it's crazy how you're mentally you get set for something, and it's like, okay, I'm like, part of me is dying to go riding again, and then the other part of me doesn't want to bother. And it's funny because I'll give you a little bit of started doing some math on the weekend, right? So I'm talking to a buddy of mine, and there's a place called Cochrane, about 8 hours north of us, and we're doing some math on getting there. And what would normally have been, call it $500 in fuel, is now $800 in fuel just to get there. And back.
Goodness.
Just to get there and back. And that's with a truck, trailer, towing sleds, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, okay. And then, we Google gas prices up there. And for premium, because we need premium, it's like, I don't know, $2.40 a liter, $2.30 a liter or something. So that would be over close to $5.50 a gallon, $6 a gallon, I guess. If I were to, I'm not sure on the full conversion right at the moment, but anyways, long story short, you start pricing it out, and for like literally 2 days, if you were to do kind of like 500, 600, 700 kilometers in riding, you'd be upwards of probably $1,600 to $1,700 with hotel and everything, and that's divided by 2. Right, that's with the fuel and everything. So you're kind of $800-900 for like literally 48 hours, and not to mention 8 hours there and 8 hours back. So you're in the vehicle. So you're 16 hours of the 48 in the vehicle.
Yeah, holy cow!
So for me, it's like this is insane. But all right, brother. Not sure.
I'm assuming it was not worth it. Then is that what you're
saying? But here's the thing, right? So if it was midwinter, like we'd be there. There would be no question.
I got you.
Because it's trailing towards the end of the season. And then this is the funny thing is because it's trailing towards the end, we look at the trail maps and it's all green up there, which means the trails are in mint condition. But the what ifs start coming out, right? So my buddy goes, well, what if we have a breakdown? I'm like, dude, time out on that. Like, what are you doing putting that into the atmosphere? Like,
don't throw that in there.
I know. What if we would have had that when we went up in February? Like, it was almost 7 hours ride in February when my son and I went, right? And don't get me wrong, we had some issues. Like one of my headlights stopped. I'm literally out there. It's like, blizzarding out, and I'm pulling the headlights off my sled and redoing the wires and crimping them and like waterproofing them. But you do what you got to do. You got to get done. That's what it is.
The what if game can keep snowballing. So I like whenever somebody does the what if game, I say, okay, what if I just walk out of the house and I get hit by a car? Okay, there's nothing else happens after that. What if game's done? Forget the what if game.
Exactly. And it's crazy. But then I'm thinking of it, and I'm like, okay, well, if we're gonna do that, then we got to do it. Like leave on Wednesday, leave on Thursday, and go. Right. And then it's like, the snowmobile season for me anyways, in my business and really my entire business when I was selling on the corporate side of it has always been the perfect timing, because January, February, and beginning of March, super slow in every business I've ever had. So it's cool. But now things are starting to pick up. I've got a lot of things in the pipeline. And so now my mindset is going to, can I actually get out of here without hindering my progression?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, DJ, that's the big question is, like, if I do I lose 2 days, 3 days productivity
Yep.
to do something I really want to do?
Mm.
And
That's the
you know,
everyday life dilemma, isn't it?
yeah, and it's like, yes, because I love it, but then and this is kind of the year-end dilemma, right? And I think we all go through this at some point in time, whether it be golfing, whether it be
Oh
vacation,
yeah.
like whatever it be. It's like, okay, but it's the end of the season. Like, I've did some pretty good riding this year. I've got out a lot. We, you know, my son and I explored some pretty freaking cool places that we've never been. I got a great idea. Like, I have a full, like, ironclad 100% mapped out picture of next year's riding season, or, you know, 2022-23 riding season. And, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I could take it or leave it, I guess, right? So at the beginning of the season, it's like, no, you'll bust through mountains to get places, right?
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? So it's like this
Oh yeah.
mental shift, right?
Yes.
It's like, you know, I guess the best way I could put it is, you know, sales, right? So what does August, middle of July to the end of August, mean to you in sales? To me, it was always, forget about making sales
Vacation.
calls. You're never going to get a hold of anybody because everybody's
Yep.
on vacation.
Everybody's on vacation.
Yeah. But I know sales reps where they landed their biggest clients between mid July and the end of August. So, right, like in a recession, some companies make a lot of money and some companies go out of business.
Again, it really just depends on how you look at it too, because on the, you
Absolutely.
know, and I've heard so many great stories of people doing that over holiday weekends, but it's
Mhm.
because that's when you're gonna find the issues. Oh, good one. So you're gonna
Yeah.
find the
Have you
issues.
tried this new mango one?
No,
Oh,
good.
incredible, man.
Yeah,
It like fires your
but
mouth
you
up
know,
when
the
you take it.
holidays is when they're gonna be in the biggest. You know, you're gonna find the biggest pickles. So if they have a problem, you could be, you know, not only the savior, you might be. They might be the
Yeah.
music's
Yeah.
playing and they're
Yep.
super
Yep.
excited.
The sky opens up, the sunbeam
Yeah,
comes down on you, and you're just like, ah, I got a nice
I
tan. All
did
right. Yeah,
it.
exactly. All right. Are you ready, brother?
Let's
Are
do
you
it.
ready?
Uh
And
oh, what are we?
I'm
What
wondering
are we
if there's a actually, now that I think about it, I'm wondering if there's an issue with the old stream, because I don't see any comments, and usually we at least got Lisa and Jeff or somebody coming in
no,
and
no,
saying,
hi,
"Oh, there we
nothing.
go, peach flavor rocks." Greg, there we go. Everybody's starting to pop in now. Hey, Jessica. You know what,
Hey,
Greg? The
good morning,
peach
Firebender.
flavor you're talking about, the peach rehab.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, is that not good? Like the lemonade ice, or the iced tea peach, the peach iced tea for Monster. Oh,
no,
buddy.
they. So he might be talking. Dan, I don't know if you've seen this one yet, but in the U.S., it's a new one. It's called Peachy Keen, and
No.
it's a
So it's
zero
like a
like that.
fuzzy
It's an
peach.
ultra, but it's called Peachy Keen. It's really good. It's really Greg. You're right.
Really?
It's very good. Oh yeah, you got to
Oh,
find
you
that
see,
one.
the only peach I've ever seen is the rehab. Do you guys have the rehab
Oh yeah,
ones?
yeah. We have the rehab.
Oh,
Uh
Greg says audio keeps going in and out, guys.
oh.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Is it me?
Huh. Probably, but
It might be. Yeah, I think it is me. I think it is me. I
yeah,
think I
no
might be
worries.
too far away. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta jump into that microphone, brother. You gotta
Yeah,
get it. You gotta
I
get
got.
the
I got to.
microphone right, like almost at
I got to eat
right at
it
that
up
chin
here.
level.
I got
Yeah,
to eat
pretty much.
it.
All right, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yep. Let's do it. Right there. There. It was breaking open for me. Oh, you.
Yeah. So let's try it again. Let's try it again.
Lisa said she's here.
Lisa
All
says she's here. There you go. Finally, people are starting to pipe up. All right, ready?
right. Hey, let's see. Uh,
My
it's in the
thumb's
same
getting too.
spot. I see it. I see it. Right. No, there, right there. Oh, you
DJ,
did it
you're
again. You did
killing
it
me here,
again.
man.
All right.
Jeez, my thumbs are too fat. It keeps. Okay, ready?
I got it right there. Do it.
All right. 5 big moves. 5 big moves.
Hey,
So,
see, I was
okay,
waiting
so
for that one. That was
teething baby woke up. I can hear fine. Okay, so Lisa says that's why she's late. Lisa says teething baby woke up. Yeah,
teething
yeah,
baby.
I get that.
Yes.
Okay, so today's
Dan
session
had a teething.
is
Dan had a teething baby problem too over the weekend.
oh, did you?
No, you did. I said.
Oh yeah, I had a what do we got here? What is this person doing? They got
What
some.
in the world?
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, we're just gonna block them real quick. I don't know
okay.
why I showed that. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's like that was just like a total spam
Spam.
on the. We're just give me one
Thanks.
second here, everybody. I'm just blocking this person out big time.
Yeah, we're just blocking the spam. So the weekend.
It's saying something went wrong. So,
Uh-oh.
all right. So big 5 moves.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a good one.
so what is going on here?
Did you figure it out?
Yeah, I'm just blocking, but Restream saying something went wrong. Try reloading the page, but we're not going to reload the page because we'll go out of. So
Oh yeah,
I'll have to deal with that after. Um,
yeah.
so okay, so big 5 moves, super duper big 5 moves. This was a strategy I originally came across through one of my mentors who
Mm.
says, like anytime in any business, in anything you're trying to do, break everything down to 5 moves. Now, 5 moves are not 5 tasks. They're kind of like the overarching type thing. So prospecting would be a move. And inside prospecting, you've got like blocking time out to do your prospecting every day. You've got like, then your second part is, okay, how am I going to perfect my sales pitch? How am I going to really hone in on my sequence and all this kind of stuff? So big 5 moves. The idea and strategy is to put those moves, something in about those moves in your daily schedule. And this is a topic that can take an hour and a half conversation. So let's try and plow it out, DJ, because I know you and I are huge on this. This is a
Yeah.
strategy you loved when you heard it, and
Oh, I
it,
loved it. I love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really, really, really good way to break down your march towards your greatness, whatever that may be for any of you watching or listening, whether it be live now or later. Like here's where I am. Here's really where I want to go. What are
It's
the
just a
big
great way to
5 things?
connect the dots.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
connecting the dots
yeah.
and really
So let's go through
keeping
5 moves.
you in your blinders on and in focus and just
Yeah.
staying on task. Yeah. No, I love it.
And so let's go through 5 moves. I'm going to continue to try and block this.
Yeah, I don't know
There we
what's
go.
going on. This is crazy. The and it's saying the setting. I actually have no chat, so I can't even see the chat now.
Yeah, it's like it's whoever it is, they're paired. So they're coming straight from the paired channels.
Hmm.
So anyways, I apologize anyone who's watching or on YouTube or whatever and getting annoyed by these this
Yeah, sorry guys.
BS spam. Go out and get a real job.
Yeah.
So all right. Sorry, did I say that loud? I kind of got Tourette's there for a
No,
second.
yeah.
Give
I
a
thought
fuck, go out and get a real job. So
I thought it too.
all right. So for you, looking back at your sales career, what are 5 big moves that you would put into play right now?
As far as to just growing,
Yeah, your sales. Where
yeah.
you coming from, where you are to where you want to be.
So,
What are 5
yeah,
moves?
I mean, obviously, prospecting, like you said, is number
Mm-hmm.
one. Gotta keep the funnel, gotta keep the funnel going. Gotta keep it fresh. Um, the next move from there is really just moving them through the stages. So then moving them around the bases. Uh, and so that'd be making sure once the funnel is full, uh, keeping them fresh. Another step I like to do is really funneling people fast. So if I don't, if I'm not getting that vibe, like I said, the ideal customer profile is a huge thing for me. Whoever I'm working with, if I don't find that, like we clicked right away. I go back to that every time. The way we clicked is kind of how I look for anybody I'm working with now. I mean, if I don't feel that right away, like we're both on the same mission, same goal, same everything, just cut it quick, fine, and keep filling. So filling the pipeline, obviously number one. Goals, setting goals. Goals are a big thing for me. So really, and that's where you're gonna know your numbers of how you're, you know, where how many people you need. That's the data where you're getting all the data from. So pulling in the data and really counting and breaking down the data to know where I'm at and keeping kind of steps of my goals and then just really going from there is but the big five. So big five prospecting, uh, f- moving through the customer profile as quickly as possible. Um, Funneling in, funneling out is what I call it. And then really it just depends on the goal. I guess I'm on a different goal, so I'm trying to I'm breaking down from my business goals to this. Yeah, it really just depends from there. What about you?
So, I mean, obviously for me, number one, when I was selling in logistics was always prospecting. Number two was educating, staying ahead of the market curves. For me, number three was audibles. Audibles
Big.
for me was a big move of its own. Like I would audit every single email. I would audit all my phone calls. I would
Yep.
audit everything from that perspective. Number
I love it.
four was profitability. A big move for me was how do I become profitable? And for me, profitability didn't just mean high margins, it meant low operating costs. So if I had medium margins or lower margins, I'd try and figure out a way to lower my operating costs. And a lot of that came from dedication and all that kind of stuff. And then number five for me was the continuous conversations. I would always be speaking to everybody I could in the industry to gain different knowledge. So when I say education as my second
Mm-hmm.
move, that was my education that I had. So like I have personal development coaches, I have business coaches, but they are generalized coaches, understanding, marketing, understanding social, understanding web development, all that kind of stuff. Um, so my fifth and final one was I always tried to have conversation with people in the industry, and that was with my suppliers, with colleagues that
Mm.
I cared to have conversations with. Not to sound like an asshole or anything, but there were certain colleagues I couldn't care to have conversations with.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, I really don't mean to sound like one of those people, but like for me, conversations have to have value.
Mm.
And, I remember my whole thing was I don't have time to stand at the water cooler and talk about bullshit. I
Mm.
just don't. Like I'm here for a mission. I'm not here to, and again, for all of you watching this, please don't take this as me being a dick, but I'm not here to get more friends.
Yeah.
Like if we connect, great. But this is a business
This
and
is
I'm here
job.
to
Yeah.
accomplish a goal. And maybe and not maybe, my mindset was completely different my last corporate go around because I was testing every single one of my strategies, knowing exactly where I'd be today. Like
Yeah.
exactly where we sit today is exactly where I knew I would be 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And it would be training people and helping them become the best they can be. So I was on a mission when I was at the last company I worked for.
I
And
like
that
it.
mission wasn't to hang out with new people or meet new friends. We had friends, you know what I mean? Like, and so, but prior to that, like when I first started in the industry, every single one of my friends were colleagues,
Yeah.
right? So I'd lived that
Yeah.
life. So for me, those were my big five moves. And every day I would plot one every a move from each of those categories in my calendar. You know, DJ, you could tell a lot about a person and about their desires on what they want to achieve by looking at their calendar.
Ah,
Like,
I knew you were
and you
going
think
there. Yeah,
about it,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Somebody parachutes into your, I parachute into your office right now. I say, show me your next month,
Mm-hmm.
and you have nothing in there for educating yourself,
Yep.
growing as a person, as a business person, helping your clients, like, and none of that stuff. You have nothing blocked for prospecting. You have nothing blocked out for, maybe
Yep.
part of
Yep.
it is that education piece, part of it is that relationship piece. You've got no time blocked out to call your suppliers that help your business move.
Yep.
You're losing. I'm
No,
sorry, you're losing.
you could.
If we don't have that scheduled, something else, somebody else's false emergencies will always take place. You might be able to do it for a week, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But after that, somebody's false emergencies are going to take over. And that's just the way it is. Like, you're going to have somebody stop at your office and talk to you for 35 minutes about nothing
Mm,
because you don't have your time scheduled. And if that's one thing my mentor has, all of my mentors have taught me, is you have to protect your time.
time
And
is the most valuable
if
thing
you
we
have
have.
a goal, yeah, if you have a goal that you really want, and it's not just oh, it'd be nice to have. No, this is something I'm going to achieve.
Yeah.
Like you have to block it out. And that was probably one of the biggest lessons that gave me the most
Agreed.
traction in my career.
Agreed.
And you think about it, right? When you block, like, so for me, I'm now between 10 and 12 is all meetings or prospecting. That's
Prospecting.
it.
Yeah.
I do nothing else between 10 and 12 between meetings and prospecting. 5 days a week. And then at nighttime, I'll do an hour and a half of prospecting until about 11:30 at night. And blocking those 2 times out has created more opportunity than anything else.
Well, and
It's 3.5 hours a day, three
One is
hours and
when you
40.
when you time block and you really stick to that too. I think that was the biggest thing learning with time blocking is, if you're only prospecting for that hour, I mean, even if you get into a good conversation and you want to start giving prices or they ask you instantly for a quote, don't use that time. Don't get off task. Don't get off target. Gotta keep prospecting and figure that out at the end or whatever time you set for that. And
Mhm,
once I learned that, I was like, okay, yeah, that's so powerful because
mhm,
then it just helps you stay focused. And when you can stay focused, even if you just time block for an hour, just an hour at a time, different things. I mean, the amount of stuff you could get done just by staying focused and doing that
mhm,
one task for that one
mhm.
hour it blows away. You know what I mean? It blows away.
Yeah. Well, and that was that was why I attached to this, 5 big moves idea.
Yeah.
Because if you have 5 major moves, like any goal, I don't care what it is, like building a space station can come down to 5 moves. You can literally categorize
Yeah.
it in no more than 5 things.
When you're just
And
getting clarity, you're getting clarity on it.
clarity, you're being able to sit there and you're saying, okay, I'm going to take this course on Monday to learn X. I'm going to take this psychology course to learn when people move this way, what happens when they raise their eyebrows, when they lower their, like the
Yeah.
biggest thing for me when COVID first hit was I started really identifying facial expressions because I lost the ability to see the body language because people's
Mm.
hands were down here.
Yeah.
Right. And when we're on Zoom as opposed to in a meeting, so
Yep.
for me, it was like, okay, that's where I literally need, and immediately, like this, almost within 24 hours of lockdown happening, I was on the phone with people. I was looking at courses and I got a course to understand facial expressions. And when you ask a question, how somebody's eyes, when they move a certain way, it's like, okay, did you see it? Or, we're in a thing and somebody's interested and you'll see them just kind of lean forward just a little bit, or
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
their eyes move a certain way to the left, move a certain way to the right. It's like these were the next level things we needed to figure out as a sales rep because we're used to looking at people's hands. We're
Yep.
used to seeing them take notes. We're used to that interaction as opposed to this interaction. So it was like,
It's
in order
different.
to be the best I could be, I had to learn that.
Mm.
Right. And so this is the ever evolving. And not only that, the biggest for me, one of the biggest things that came with 5 big moves and putting them in your agenda every day is your motivation and that inspiration to get to your goal is continuous. Like you don't
Mm.
lose it because every day, like motion creates emotion, right? I mean, Tony Robbins is huge.
Absolutely.
Physiology,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
down, you just change your physiology and things change.
Bring it
And
up.
if we, when I learned that in order to get motivated to do something, all you have to do is take a step towards it. And then that step motivates you to take the next step, motivates you to take it's like when you compose an email, right? The subject line is meant for somebody to open the email. The first sentence is meant for them to read the second. The second sentence is meant for them to read the third and the third. And this is how every single newspaper article is written. Everything is written. It's written with a formula. There's a formula for success. There's a formula for greatness. There's a formula to close more deals. There's a formula to stay busy. There's a formula to fill your pipeline. 5 moves. You put them in your daily agenda and you map it out. Like when we were talking about, what's your goals a couple of weeks ago, I think we were talking about your goals for 2022 and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so already I've signed up for my welding course. Already, I literally start in a week. I've already had many conversations with the instructor. He's given me all the stuff I need. I've already gone out and got it. I've already signed up for January 2023 for my snowmobiling course and stuff up north.
Nice.
I've already sourced all the parts and stuff to convert my sled into what I want it. It's like, this isn't just, like good talk that makes you feel good. It's like, when you say you're going to do it, start acting towards it. Because if you don't, you lose track of it pretty quick. And if you don't, you have, again, other people's false emergencies take over. And it's like, okay, so now that I've signed up for the course, it's at night. So it's like 3 days a week at night. It's like, now I'm starting to arrange, okay, who's doing what, when, because I'm going to be at my course. That's what it is. So, and then I'm like, okay, if the course is here, and then I've got summertime here where I've got all the construction I got to finish from last year in my backyard. So it's like, okay, I'm placing all of this in line. And I'm like, okay, but I have trigger finger in this hand where I've got a tendon that's twisted. So I have to go in for surgery. I'm like, okay, so if it falls between this period, I can't do it. But this is all about the organizing. So, so.
And it's back to the calendar.
It's back to the calendar. And the calendar is like everything. Like, think of it like this. You look at like the McDonald's, you look at the Tim Hortons, you look at the Dunkin' Donuts, right? Like just those 3, or any fast food restaurant. They know the promos and stuff they're delivering by the beginning of the year. They know exactly when they're doing it. Like McDonald's knows exactly when they're doing Monopoly, right? So they know what they're doing to produce the results they need to produce. So why don't we adopt that mentality on a sales level? What are the results I need to produce? Like, what is the actions that produce the results, right? Here's the goal. I need X results to get the goal. That's the easy part. We all know that, right? You want to do $1 million GP and you're at 500,000, you got to double your GP. The math doesn't lie. What did it take for you to get to the 500,000?
Yeah.
What did it take? So did it take 50 calls a day, 30 calls a day? If that's what it took, what are you doing to guarantee you get those in? Right? That's a move. That's a big move. And one of those moves where we say prospecting. Somebody says, well, yeah, I prospect. No, but prospecting means blocking out the time. Prospecting means training your team. Prospecting means getting your funnel ready. Prospecting means building a lead list. Prospecting has all these tasks under the big move.
Yep.
Right? Prospecting means let's figure out how to qualify in under a minute. Because if I have 2 hours booked and I have 10 phone calls and it takes me 4 minutes to qualify on those 10 phone calls, that's 40 minutes. If I can do it in under a minute or under 2, that's 20 minutes of my 2 hours, of my 120 minutes. So now I've just, in essence, doubled my time to qualify twice as many people. Like, these are all moves or tasks inside your big move. Right? For me, I put that as a big move in its own, which I call audibles. That was the big move. So for me, it was consistently, okay, I got to audit. So what I would do is I would ask a question, and when I would get when I'd get an objection or whatever, I'd write the objection down. Then I would say my rebuttal or whatever you want to say, and then I would write that down. And when I hung up the phone at the end of the day, or sometimes right after, I would take 5 minutes and I would write out a better way to phrase that rebuttal. So for me, that was like, okay, I can't wait till somebody asks me that again, because I'm going to use this new one. This new one's going to crush it. Sometimes it was a total flop. And sometimes it was like, man, it worked. But that's what I mean by the audible side of it.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, okay, I was pretty good at sales. I brought value. Customers saw it. They saw my passion, because I had a different belief than most people when it comes to moving freight and what it really means. But it doesn't mean it was perfect. Like, never. You know what I mean? Never. Make sense?
It's so weird without the chat.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
I have no chat. I don't see anything.
Well, I mean, there's really all it is some like spam is going insane today.
I've
never seen it like this. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Anyways,
not good.
does that make sense?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. The big five is definitely just a again, it's the connecting the dots, but keeping you, it's your strategy completely broken down in reverse. So
Yeah.
reverse engineering to figure out what your 5 steps are,
Mm-hmm.
and then connect the dots and just stick
bingo,
to
bango,
that.
bongo.
That's it.
What do we got to take us out of here today, DJ?
That's
I
it.
can't
All
believe
right, well,
30
hey,
minutes is gone already.
yeah,
Wow.
we are 30 minutes. Again, sorry about the chat, guys. Don't know. We'll try to figure that out for the rest of the week. Try to get blocked these spammers. But again, if you do catch this below, please like and share. If you see us on Sales Chatter Live, YouTube, or on LinkedIn, Sales Chatter Live, please like and subscribe to catch us live next. We are live every day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. till 9:30. So start your day right with us. A little motivation. Hopefully, chat will be working. Thank you to Daman and American Logistics and Centurion Trucking for being our sponsor. Thank you. And to take us out, it's kind of funny, but I found this quote and I was shocked because I've never heard a Zig quote like this. So, but I loved it because it ties perfectly to today. So it's from Zig. Maybe it was from his son. But formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune.
To the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversation.